Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I'm continuing with Final Fantasy III for the PSP. So my last episode, in between episodes, I did some level grinding because we took out the salamander. We retrieved the Horn of Ice in the Molten Cave. And keeping in line with my mantra of making sure our party members are around the same level as the boss of the next area, we are at level 22. And since I did my level grinding in the Molten Cave, you'll notice I got some bomb arms and some other attack items. So the bomb enemies and a few others in the Molten Cave will drop, and also you can steal from them those attack items. And those are elemental attacks. The bomb arm specifically is the 3rd level of the fire attack, which is really nice because the next boss, possibly those are going to help a lot. They might not, but they might. So we're going to return back to the Dwarven Hollows. We're going to talk to everybody again. We get happy music because we have returned as the saviors. We have gotten back the 2 Horns of Ice. Everyone is happy. And we have also protected the Fire Crystal. So they're all going to say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And this guy actually says rally ho. That's awesome. So rally ho was a translation of the thing that the dwarves say in some of the earlier versions of the game in terms of the early translations back in the day. And then they changed it to lally ho. But the dwarf king or the leader or the elder here gives us a magic key. So magic keys are nice because essentially what they do is they let you open up locked doors, as you might expect. Not locked chests, but locked doors. And there are the Horns of Ice on their pedestal, all safe and sound. Now, we can do that and have done that. So at Castle Argus, the 2 towers were actually locked. If you have a thief in your first party member slot, you can actually open them up. But if you don't have a thief or you don't want to switch to a thief, you can use magic keys. They're one-time use and then they break. So we're going to rest after all that level grinding, and we're going to grab a few more items before we head out of here. And we're going to see if we can maybe get that treasure. So specifically the item we're going to pick up is the Diamond Bell. So bells are the weapon of the Geomancer. So we'll buy 2 of them just in case we happen to switch over to the Geomancer class. I don't plan on using it a ton, if at all, but you never know. It's good to have stuff and be prepared. Hip, hip, lally ho! Nice. So we're going to head down to the south, and we're going to talk to the Vault Keeper. And he's going to do a Dwarven moonwalk. That's nice. Look at him go. That's an interesting step. I don't understand why that was a thing, but they decided to make that a thing. So what kind of treasure is there going to be? Now, if you think about it, dwarves in most popular culture, you know, gold, jewels, wow, lots of chests, I guess, in this case. I mean, I'm sure it'll be useful, assuming it's not all potions. That would suck if it was just potions. Phoenix Downs, those are always appreciated. Geisel greens, not so great. But in general, a lot of it's going to be equipment, and it's specifically equipment for your new classes. So you're going to notice a lot of it is for the Scholar and also the Knight. So you're going to get some new armor for the Knight armor, as well as the heroic equipment. And then you're going to get some books that are elemental in nature that the Scholar can equip. Now, we already have some from Argus. So remember, in Castle Argus, there was a lot of Scholar equipment as well. And then there's a few consumable items too. So that's nice. I mean, I would have preferred gold because I always like gold. I like banking stuff and an elixir. That's really nice. Elixirs are especially nice in this game because there's actually no MP restoring items except elixirs. They are the only thing in town. So there are no ethers in this game. If you want to restore MP, you have to use an elixir. And if you're using items, you're limited in terms of hit points to high potions and potions. So as you might expect, those are going to get less useful very quick because high potions only restore 500 hit points and potions only restore 50. Now we're not going to equip the shield on the knight right now. It's really, for the most part, for really powerful enemies that you're going to face. So when you have the shield equipped, the knight will throw himself in front of other characters and protect them. But if we have both weapons equipped, he'll do... Hey, we got another letter. Oh no, the children are in trouble. But he'll do better in random encounters, doing damage. Oh no, the children have not come back from their exploration trip. So they want us to come back to Ur and check out and see if we can figure out where those kids went. Well, that sounds like a plan, right? We can certainly do that. We got nothing else to do. We don't know where to go next. And we're getting a white screen for some reason. Who's this? Oh no. Apparently we were talking. Tokkul? What's wrong with Tokkul? I mean, we know the Argus soldiers are coming from the desert and causing chaos there, but when we went into the desert, there wasn't much going on. Oh no, they're going to burn the place down. It's kind of an extreme step. Well, I guess it's up to us to stop them. Oh, it's Hein, the former court wizard of Argus. And here's your clue. Make sure you use a scholar against him, because he can change his barrier. And the special ability of the scholar is the study command, which allows you to see the weakness of an enemy. So obviously we have a pressing matter to do. We have Tokkul. We have to basically make sure that we head there as soon as possible to try to save them from being burned down. So in the vein of any Final Fantasy, when we have an immediate request like this, we're going to do side quests instead. We never went to the village of Geisel, so we're going to go there first. Geisel is on the far eastern side of the map. It was the town that was in the area when we did the little trip around the continent on our Chocobo that was blocked off by mountains. So you can only access it with the ship. So you have to head all the way to the west and then head south, and it's about halfway down the continent on the western shore of the island. Now, Geisel is important for a couple reasons. There's nothing there that's a must-have, but again, it has level 4 magic for you, so that's nice. And there's a few items there of interest, so if you're not using a thief, man, the encounter rate on the ocean is ridiculous. You can pick up magic keys here. So it's, I think, the only place in this area of the world, sheep, that there's sheep, and also that you can acquire magic keys. So this is the sheep herder, the caretaker, not doing a very good job. Sheep's running away from her, such as it is. It's pretty cute. And a little reference here to Lemmings. I was never into that game. I think I played it a few times back in the day, but wasn't my thing. But we're gonna head into the magic shop here, and we're gonna buy the level 4 magic spells. So you got Break, you got Shade, and then you got all 3 of the white level spells. So one of those paralyzes, Shade inflicts gradual petrification. You've got Libra, which is the sight. Well, it's not sight, but essentially it allows you to scan your opponent and see their weaknesses. And then we're gonna finish off with the rest of the magic as well. And then we'll teach it to our various mages. Make sure that they know all of them. Confuse and Silence, I mean, they have their places if you want to use them. It's entirely up to you. And you'll notice again that we are missing Ice 3. They did take that out of this part of the game in the remakes. The rest of the town is basically hidden items. So we have someone that we can watch dance in here. And we have an inn upstairs and also an item shop. And this person tells us about the fat Chocobo. So the Fat Chocobo has made an appearance in numerous Final Fantasies. I believe this is its first appearance in the series. We can't talk to this old guy. And again, it gets reused in Final Fantasy IV for the same purpose. So it is an item storage unit. So what you do is you go into Chocobo forests with Geisel greens or carrots in the originals. And basically, when it smells like Chocobo, you use the item, and then you can access the storage of the Fat Chocobo. And it has that little person mentioned there. Essentially, they put it inside of their stomach, which is a little gross. But it is what it is, right? Now, we're not going to be doing that because our item inventory is pretty extensive in this game. Now, in the original, obviously, with the limitations of the NES, you were limited in the number of items you could have in your item bag. In this version, you are much less limited. You can hold a lot more items. But if you want to use that storage system, you certainly can. So in order to do that, you need to have Geisel greens, which you can buy here, conveniently. But again, I'm not going to be using it a ton, so I'm just going to use the ones that are available to me, that I find as random items. And we have a nice building back here. That's a nice standby of early RPGs, is just having buildings with no door on them to flesh out the town. To make you think, oh, there's more buildings in this town. It's a bigger place, but we can't access it. And we have a shopkeeper here, and suspiciously, there's no switch, but we can head through the wall, and there's a chest behind him, which allows you to get the shuriken. So that is a throw weapon for the ninja class, which we're not going to get for quite a while. So we're going to be saving that, because shurikens are very, very, very powerful. Throw weapons in this game, as in most Final Fantasies, are super powerful abilities. So we're definitely going to be taking advantage of that later in the game. We'll be using the ninja class, don't worry. And then Chocobos. There's 3 of them in here. Now we can't actually take these. They're domesticated, I guess, which means we can't use them. But the pots in the back of the area do have some Geisel greens, which again, you can use to access the boss of the Chocobos, as he says, the Fat Chocobo. Interesting that they didn't just call it the Big Chocobo, or the Boss Chocobo. So they just work at you, or Kui, or whatever. And then there's a few more hidden items for us to pick up. So they're on the eastern side of the island here, and they're hidden down in a little alcove. So I think they're over here, although I'm not seeing them. Huh. That's weird. So where exactly did they go? Maybe they're down a little bit further. Ah, there they are. So they were just down a little bit further to the south. Alright, so now that we have all those items, we're going to head back to Ur. So I'll meet you over there. Let's head out of town and head to Ur. Alright, so we want to help out, of course, the people of Ur. We want to save these children. It's not fair that they can't go exploring without getting attacked by monsters. It's not their fault. So we're going to come back to Ur, and we're going to find out where they went, and then we're going to go save them. And this is the side quest for the Onion Knight class. So, to access this quest and get the letter that allows you to do this, again, you have to have about a quarter of your bestiary completed, and you have to have received and read the previous letters from the Elder. And you also have to have Luneth as the lead person of your party. Now, if you're playing the DS version, it doesn't unlock that way. You have to actually exchange letters through the DS wireless with someone else also playing Final Fantasy III. So you have to have another person with another cart, and you have to wirelessly exchange letters with them in order to access this quest. But in the remakes of the remake, the PSP and the PC versions, obviously they got rid of that wireless ability, and so it's just unlocked through progression of the story. But oh no, there are the kids. They're being attacked by bombs. Bombs are super dangerous, but we're gonna save them, don't worry. Hey, pick on someone your own size, we say. Bombs are like, sure. So we've faced bombs before. They were actually a random encounter in a previous area. So not a big deal. I think the subterranean lake, actually. So they have about 300 hit points. They're not gonna be too tough. We'll just use our ice staffs, which they are weak to. They're not gonna do a lot of damage. They can explode, which will do a couple hundred hit points worth of damage, but nothing to worry about. We are so over-leveled at this point that we can easily take them out. And interestingly enough, remember those bullies that were picking on Ark way at the beginning of the game? That's who these three people are. So they were the three toughs that were giving Ark a hard time. So of course now we've come back and saved them. So don't they feel silly. And they're going to give us the Onion Knight job class crystal. Now the Onion Knight is interesting. In order for it to be useful, you have to level it up, and you have to be roughly level 93 in order for it to be useful. Its stats are dreadful until you get into the high 90s. Now it is the only class that maximizes your stats once you get to level 99. You actually get 99 for every stat. And the Onion Knight can also use super powerful optional equipment that's really hard to find. It's in a secret area. And they can also use every magic spell. But I'm not going to be using this class. It takes way too much time and effort to level them up. So if you want to, feel free. I'm not going to be worried about it. So next time, we're going to head to Tokkul, and we're going to try to figure out how to save the people of that area and stop Hein. Thanks for watching, viewers. I'll see you all next time. So long.